This is my review of the GotVapes Ultimo Vision 950. Hey guys, it's steeljan here. Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the GotVapes Ultimo 950. It has a little sister called the 650, and those numbers are supposed to refer to the milliamp hours of the battery inside of it. And we're going to get to that a little later. First off, let's just see how this vapes. This is it setting at 3.4 volts. Now we will set it up to 3.7 volts. So yeah, here we have it, 3.7 volts. And now we'll set it to 4 volts. Okay, so here we are at 4 volts. It does perform better at 4 volts. 3.4, 3.7, I see some difference, a little less vapor production at 3.4 than 3.7, but it tastes to me the same pretty much between 3.4 and 3.7. I'm using the GotVapes Flukes Nectar Lasso flavor at 70 to 30 PG to VG ratio, and that juice is, to me, it tastes like a nice, very nice RY4. Okay, so I have 5 pages of notes on this thing, and there's no way I'm getting through 5 pages, so I've got to talk really fast to try to tell you what I like, I don't like, and then I got to show you some stuff on the guts. And I hope I don't show you a deal breaker, because I want to tell you this does perform really well. What I like, it vapes really well. It is definitely pocket friendly. I've had this in my purse and various pockets, and it does not leak anything in my pocket or my purse. It is getting away from the cigarette shape. Now, hopefully this can help non-smokers differentiate between vapors and smokers when they see us in public. So, not cigarette shape, I'm not smoking, I am vaping, you know, maybe, hopefully. Has a nice rubbery finish, and it comes in various colors and weird patterns. I sort of wish it came in a solid color like Kawasaki green. This is a vape and charge, so we can plug it into a USB hub or even straight into the computer and vape from it. And I really like that. Now I'm going to tell you later in some voltage details that it is the same voltage whether you're plugged in or whether you're not. It only takes about 190 milliamps of charge current by my measurement. So you can plug it straight into a computer. It's not like a pass-through that's going to take a bunch of amps. It's always just charging the battery, and you're always vaping the battery. I like having the clock calendar. I'm always running around doing stuff around the house or out in the yard or who knows where, and not wearing a watch, and I usually don't have my cell phone on me. Nope. The cartomizers that come with it are the Vision Extremes 360 regular. They're supposed to be 2.7 ohms, 1.5 milliliters. Mine measured at 2.9 ohms. No, 2.9 ohms. And I can only get a milliliter of juice in them before if I try to get more than a milliliter of juice in them, they're overfilled and they'll get bad. They still gurgle. Now the one I've got in here right now, a GotVapes Vision Dew LED, clear regular 1.5 milliliter green. And These in vape heavy test vaping, say that 5 times fast, lasts an hour. Now you got this wonderful thing that's got a lot of battery life to it, and yet you got to either refill these big cartomizers or carry more of them with you. Now, as I always say, we assume e-liquid is safe, but it sure as heck ain't cheap. So vaping a milliliter of juice in about an hour in heavy test vaping is a lot. With my smokeless image Volt 808 cartomizers, here it is with a nice little drip tip. Unscrew it, screw on a 510 to 808 adapter. Screw this on really tight. Usually I say don't screw things on tight. Screw this on really tight because you don't want this adapter to get lost inside there. Unscrew this guy. I'm so adept. Put this guy in, and I've got the same, for this test, I've got the same Flukes Nectar lasso in it. And that will perform really well. So the Volt cartomizer only holds about a milliliter of juice, but it'll last 5 hours. So 5 hours versus 1 hour, I go with the Volt. Yes, but since that's not what I'm reviewing here, I should put back on the other one, right? Yes. The one that came with the kit. I like that it says goodbye. Here, I'll show you. When you turn it off, I'll show you this. Okay, so we're getting ready to put our little Ultimo away. So we slide down our carton, close our lid, and then we press 5 times on the vape button, on the nice sapphire vape button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goodbye, my master. Goodbye, my master. And I love that. So shoot me. I love it. You know, for all the years that we were smokers, cigarettes were our master. But with this, we are its master. And I just love it. Goodbye, my master. Goodbye, my master. Gotta turn it back on. 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. And like I said, this is very well designed, and I'm going to get into that when we open it up. And I like that it has an OLED screen. People keep saying this is an LCD screen or an LED screen. It's an OLED screen, an organic LED screen. This is actually a screen like on your cell phone or a television. And so the beauty of that is that it's crystal sharp. It's crystal sharp, very high resolution. There's no backlight to this. And as a result, in this kind of an application where it's displaying text, this is going to use 60% less power than an LED or an LCD screen. Yeah, now that's great because you think about it, this is a great design feature. Everything that you see that powers up, every shiny pretty, like the blue vaping button and stuff, those are all powered by its battery. So when you choose an OLED screen, and this is the first PV I've seen an OLED screen on. Not the ProVeri, not anybody that I know of has an OLED screen. So when you see a designer choosing something like this, you know that they've taken in every consideration. And what I don't like, the battery's not replaceable. This, without the cartomizer, this is meant to be tossed at $70, $70 to $80. Some places charge more that are selling these. That's pretty expensive for a tossable, right? So I will show you the guts so that some of us brave people may change the battery, but this not being replaceable, I definitely don't like. The airy draw slurpiness. Don't like. I'll show you why it sounds like that. Part of it is because it's trying to slurp the air through the holes in it. But I'll show you another reason for that in a little bit. Obviously, you can't use bigger cartomizers or tanks in this. Another problem. You could use atomizers. A guy, Alex, over at Aussie Vapor said that he tested the 650 version of this with a 1.5 ohm dual coil cartomizer and a 1.5 ohm and 2.2 ohm addies with no problems, and he used an Ego battery extender, which just brought it up higher, because you can't screw an atomizer into this without some sort of an extension. And I'm going to put links to his video and all the other review videos that I have found so far, and I'll try to keep that updated down here in my comments. And if you're watching this on someplace other than YouTube, if you click that button over there that says watch this on YouTube, then you can open up my comments and see the links that I'll put in. I said the other thing I didn't like was that these cartos only last about an hour of heavy test vaping before they have to be refilled. They use a ton of juice. They just suck it. And that's part of what gives you that big full mouthfeel. But if you're using like a Volt cartomizer or Blug or Halo or Elite Vaporworks, these nice 808 cartomizers also give you great taste and vapor production. And you use less e-liquid, lots less. My next beef, the manual. It's pretty, it looks like the PV, but it's really poorly written. Here, I will read to you. I'm going to tell you why I put up that video of how to set this up. This is how they say to set this up. According to the left button to display the date a time, in the right mouse button down 0000 clock flashing, short right click adjust clock, right click on the 0000 long in minute hand flashing, short right click on the adjustment minutes, right click on the 2010 long 10 digital flashing, short adjustment right click on the year, right click on the numerical twinkle in long short right click in adjustment, right click on the specific 1 day long flashing, short right click on the adjustment, finally long right click confirm the date to adjust over. The whole manual's written like that, and it's written for something else. It talks about it having an atomizer and cartomizer. It talks about having an atomizer and cartridge. Don't ever vape it vertically, and it's not written for this. Now it does suggest to use this to not only quit smoking but then stop vaping eventually, and that's why it shows you how many vapes you've had today and shows you how much time in between your vapes you have had. Now I'm sounding like the manual, so I don't think very many of us are going to use that, but if you do want to stop smoking and then stop vaping, this is great. Another way that I'm using that feature of counting the vapes is when I pre-fill a cartomizer, or when I use a pre-filled cartomizer or I refill a cartomizer, I can write down the number and I can see how many puffs it actually lasts me. So now I'm going to tell you about the battery, how long the battery lasts. I see all different superior claims of battery length lasting. In my heavy test vaping, which is vape, at 3.4 volts, it lasted 8.25 hours. A little over 8 hours at 3.4. 3.7, it lasted 7.5 hours. And at 4.0, the battery lasted me 6.5 hours. So heavy test vaping, if you're a heavy vapor, at 4.0, it's going to last you about 6.5 hours. And that seems about right to me. The voltages. I measured the voltages, and I was going to do it on this video, but I know this video is already going to run too long. At 3.4 volts, unloaded, meaning unloaded is with no cartomizer. Loaded means you've got a load on it. You've got the cartomizer, it's sucking the amps, okay? So unloaded, I'm going to give you unloaded and then loaded. 3.4 volts. Unloaded, 3.45. Loaded, 3.1. 3.7 volts. Unloaded, 3.7 volts. Good. Loaded, 3.36. 4.0 volts. Unloaded, 3.96. Not quite 4. Loaded, 3.64. So when you have a cartomizer on here and it's set to 4 volts, you're actually vaping at 3.64 volts with this cartomizer. But it still performs really well because the battery's beefy enough that it's giving you a lot more instantaneous current. Let's open it up. I'm going to give you the really bad news, and I'm sorry. And I hope this isn't a deal breaker. I hope those voltages aren't a deal breaker because this unit really performs well. Now to open this thing, and it does come glued. Turn it off. Goodbye, my master. Goodbye, my master. Okay, now it does come glued together, so my first time taking this apart was tough. And if you want to take yours apart, you do so at your own risk, okay? I can't remember if I slide it up or down. Okay, hold on to the top, cartomizer to the left, hold on to the top, pull down from the bottom. And there you have it. There's the guts. Okay? And here's the thing that everybody's gonna have a fit about. The battery is 850 milliamp hours, not 950 milliamp hours. And there's the part number. I Googled it and I couldn't find it. Let's look at the good parts of how this is made though, because like I said, I think the designer is great. The slider locks in place down and it locks in place up. It is not glued together. It is screws, real screws. It has a rib in the middle so that this plastic case has no give. If somebody says, oh, I don't want a plastic PV, I say, look at your cell phone. If you're against plastic, just look at your cell phone. Okay, and look, even the circuit board, I can tell you with my 30 years of hardware design experience that this is really well designed. And it is screwed, here we go again, screwed into place, not glued. I would take that apart to show you, but I suspect that the fingers of the OLED screen are pressed in here. Well, if you've ever taken apart a Fluke multimeter, that's what I mean. If you haven't, never mind. So there's the charging port, and it's nicely snugged into a little holder. Okay, now here's the reason for the light airy draw. You see where the wires are soldered onto the connector down here, cartomizer connector. They soldered the red wire on to the center post and put some hot glue on it for strain relief, but they leave most of the hole open. That's why it's a very slurpy air sound through there. You're not getting to regulate it through the holes on the side of the connector. It's just sucking air straight through that center hole. Now I'm going to plug that up with some hot glue. So yeah, it's not a 950 milliamp hour battery. It's an 850 milliamp hour battery. Snaps into place and then it's glued. Okay, this video is already too long. What comes in the box? The box. Very nicely constructed, magnetically held together box. I wish they would put this, just send me something in a bubble wrap and put this into giving me more stuff for my PV. This is going to go in the landfill, folks. Why have it? The manual, a QC inspection sticker, which I like. I hope it was QC inspected. The wall wart charger, and this Nokia charger, and the cable is 4 feet long, which is nice for sitting and vaping. Hey guys, so that's it from me. This is the GotVapes Ultimo Vision Extreme. I hope you guys had a really happy and great new year, and I'll see you later. This is steeljan out. Bye, guys. Steeljan.